Welcome to Straight to the Point. I'm your host, Representative Joe D'Orsi. In a world of long-windedness, I'm here to deliver you the capital news in 10 minutes or less. So, let's get straight to the point. So this is the Straight to the Point podcast. I'm Representative Joe D'Orsi. We've had a bit of a hiatus over the summer. It's been a couple of months since we've gotten together in this audio fashion, but I have some really special guests today. In fact, we were just talking history for probably the past 10, 15 minutes, and I had to draw the line so we could get on the podcast. It's Dave Raymond and Eric Gimby. They are history teachers at Northeastern School District. Guys, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So this concept, Bobblehead George, I'm looking at this cartoon character on my desk here. What is it? What was the genesis of it, and what do you hope to do?
Well, Bobblehead George, now it's a nonprofit organization, and we are dedicated to providing unique, accurate, and entertaining educational experiences to students everywhere, because across the country there are thousands of students who, for either because of geographic reasons, can't get to a place like maybe George Washington's Mount Vernon, or for financial reasons, the schools are underfunded or they just don't have the funds to get to these places. We decided to create, for lack of better words, virtual field trips, and we visit these places. We learn our history. We go there with a plan. We film a video that is easily digestible by our target audience is middle school kids, but they're for everybody. And it just really took off during the pandemic, and so now we've gone as far as Tennessee and as far north as New Hampshire, and it's just growing.
Now, do you share this with your students, or is this like a supplement of what you guys do? I mean, you show up and you teach your class. What do they think about it?
Yeah, they love it. So usually we teach from the French and Indian War all the way up through Reconstruction. So luckily where we live, there's a lot of great sites that go along with that. So it's definitely something we use in class. Kids love it. They also love it because we're on social media too. So these kids get to go home, they'll see us on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, and it's funny, these kids interacting with something about George Washington on social media.
Yeah, well, in history, I love history. I'm like you guys, and there just seems to be so few young people excited about it, So tell me about just your goals and your mission of getting kids excited about what can be seen from the periphery as this dry subject.
Yeah, well, I think that all my history teachers growing up were pretty dry, and I think my goal as a history teacher was not to be them. And I think that it's really cool to see kids get excited and to make something that happened 150, 200, 250 years ago relevant to them in 2024. Draw those connections to them, and so that's really cool to see that come alive in the students. And I think it's great that we haven't even gotten to the Revolutionary War yet. Today we just taught Lexington and Concord, but already, based upon the things that we've learned, my students already understand the first four amendments because they tied things that happened prior to the Revolution to rights that they have in the first four amendments. And we've not even talked about the Bill of Rights yet, but they understand that now.
Yeah.
And it's taking something that happened a long time ago and making it relevant to them today. And in the process, they learn and they have fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. So Pennsylvania is a history-rich state. York County, we were talking this before we went on. We have a lot of rich history right in York County. What are some of your favorite locations that you visited over the past couple of years here in Pennsylvania?
Right off the bat, we're going to give props to York County History Center. They literally opened the door for us. During the pandemic, we decided to create a virtual field trip for our students at Gettysburg because we couldn't take them on a Gettysburg field trip. And so my son, who was home from college, from Kutztown, he's a video major at the time, he said, well, I'll go and film it for you. That video turned out to be something special, and it caught the attention of York history, and they allowed us into the Ag and Industrial Museum. They allowed us into the Colonial Complex. And so those things right there, that opened the door for us because those caught the attention of George Washington's Mount Vernon and so on. But as far as local history, I mean, I love the Colonial Complex. We just recently filmed inside the Colonial Courthouse. We also filmed inside the Gates House and the Golden Plow Tavern. Those places are phenomenal. Yes.
So this took off during COVID. COVID, obviously, the virtual element to education came to the forefront. Have you heard from students, from families, even just coming to my mind right now, homeschoolers or even private
school kids could benefit from this. Have you heard from kids from across the United States that have tuned in?
Comments on YouTube all the time. Yes, and so they're not our students, and so that's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I do know that there are some cyber schools and homeschool people who do use our stuff because it is all free online.
Yep.
And so as a nonprofit, it's offered for free at bobbleheadgeorge.org, and so yes, it is being used. And every day I look at the analytics on our website, and so I can see where we tend to get a lot of traffic recently in New York State and in New Jersey, which is kind of interesting. We still haven't hit Alaska yet. That's the one out of 50 that we still haven't gotten to the hit yet. But all the other 49, there are people using our website.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of cool.
So resources are limited. Your time is limited. I mean, this is a supplement to personal instruction at Northeastern School District every day. Where do you see this going? Like, what's your? I don't want to call it a business plan, but like, what's your mission? Where would you have Bobblehead George in 5 years?
I can retire in 5 years. I'd like to see it be my full-time retirement plan.
Okay.
This is my 30th year teaching, and I'd like to go 5 more. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool to continue and have the nonprofit do well enough that we can continue doing this, years down the line. I just think that it's really fun.
Yeah, so far we've been very East Coast centric. So I think traveling more out west and then kind of creating a full curriculum that we could do. I think that would be a great thing, and also kind of just keep creating this online content because he talked about his history teachers growing up. My history teacher was pretty good because it was Dave.
Yeah.
But these kids today, even over the past 5 years, the way they consume media. When I was a kid, we'd watch a video and it was awesome. But these kids, when they go home, they could watch anything on their phone. So in order to keep them interested, that rolling in that TV cart doesn't do it anymore.
Yep.
So I think just keep creating that content to keep them engaged.
Yeah, there you go, Eric. I mean, I've spent some time trying to understand Gen Z, which is what a lot of your students are, and the time with which you have to get their attention on the smartphone, on the computer is very, very thin. It's really creative what you guys are doing, and I think you're appealing to them. What's been the most fun trip? I know you mentioned Bedford earlier. I know there's a fort out that way.
Fort Bedford.
That's your home.
Fort Ligonier a little bit further beyond that.
Yes.
Our most fun trip. I got to tell you, it became real the moment we were invited to George Washington's Mount Vernon. The moment that the vice president of communications there emailed us and said, yes, you guys can come here and film in the mansion. I was like, wow. And then it really hit home whenever we were we had to wait because we had to wait for the mansion to close. And we were on if you've ever been to Vision George Washington's house, you got that portico that faces the Potomac River. And we were in front of the portico, and we were just going to film our intro to it from there, or something like that. And all of a sudden, the security guard up there shushes all the paid visitors and said, there's a filming crew, everybody be quiet. And we're looking around for the filming crew. And it just dawned on us that they were talking about us. And that was when it became real. And, my son, who now is a professional videographer and has his own company, and he makes our videos. After our first couple, he says, you can no longer wing it. You have to have a plan. Because it's his reputation on the line now too, right? With what we do. And so we went to Mount Vernon with a plan. It's the first place we really went with a plan. And I've been to Mount Vernon enough, I knew the layout of the house. We're gonna do this room, this room, this room, this room, this room. We're gonna do it in this order because that's the way it logically makes sense for us to move through the house. But it became real for me there. That moment that we were walking in our stocking feet in George Washington's house and had the whole place to ourselves, that for me was so fun. And it became very real for me at that moment.
Yeah, for me, everything has just been so surreal. But when we got invited by Andrew Jackson's Hermitage out to Tennessee, and we arrived in Nashville, and there was swag bags for us and everything.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's listeners that are listening right now that probably want to learn more. Where can they watch these videos? What's your website, your social media?
Our website is bobbleheadgeorge.org. And so that is the one-stop shop. You're going to find everything about us. You're going to find all of our videos. We also do a collaboration with an amazing company called Periodic Presidents. They were a company that we found as teachers. We love their infographics and the way that they present presidents and presidential elections through different graphics and charts and things like that. And we were like, well, that'd be cool because their website doesn't have videos about it, and we love their graphics. And so we do this symbiotic collaboration with them where we basically use their graphics. They make their videos. We make videos. And so our videos, which are on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, are also on their website, which is really kind of neat.
Facebook, Instagram?
Instagram, bobbleheadgeorge.org. You can see everything there, all the places we've been and all the videos we've made.
And then
Yes.
Bobblehead George on social media.
Yeah.
Okay. And any events coming up in the near future that that folks would want to check out, maybe?
Yeah, we're staying close in 2025 because personal reasons. My son's getting married, and there's new babies involved in the group, and so that's kind of cool. We also have got a fundraiser at John Wright Restaurant on November 14th coming up here in 2024, and it's a dinner silent auction. We have a speaker from the American Friends of Lafayette who's going to come and speak about Lafayette's time here in New York, because this coming February is Lafayette's the anniversary of Lafayette's visit to York County during his anniversary trip.
And how suiting that it's at John Wright Restaurant, which is historic itself.
Yes, it is. And so we're excited about that dinner silent auction. And so, I mean, if people are interested, they go to our website, bobbleheadgeorge.org, and there's a little red button right on the top of the website. They can't miss it. It says, buy tickets now.
So you've heard it straight from two innovative teachers from Northeastern School District, Eric Gimby, Dave Raymond, bobbleheadgeorge.org. Check them out. And we're headed to the house floor, I think, right now. So, guys, are you ready for that?
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
We're excited. Yes, sir.
Thanks so much for coming in, guys.
Oh, man, thank you for having us. It's been awesome.
This has been Straight to the Point. Visit repjod.com/mypodcasts.